Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your monthly reading for May 2025. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. Cancer, well, here's the thing. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your spread. Then I break it down week by week. I pull more cards. I tell you about a couple more aspects. And then the second spread. And hey, welcome to an incredibly historic month. Major, profound shift, a planetary alignment that you or me or nobody on this planet has ever experienced. So May is a month that nobody out of 8 billion people has experienced. All right, I'm going to talk about that. But it is a time of great change. It is a landmark month because, I'll just give it away now, Saturn is moving into Aries. Now, if you saw your 2025 annual, forecast for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, I did say this is the year of the Great Awakening, the age of ascension, the age of wisdom, the year of the snake, shedding skin, transformation, right? The year of 9. We've talked about that. You know what 9 is. It's fulfillment. It's completion. It's the end. Preparing for 10. 2026 is the year of 10. It's the year. 9 is also humanity, by the way. So you're seeing that shift. And I told you the 4 C's of 2025 are community, collective, consciousness, and courage. Okay? And this is a year, listen, the reason why this is a big year is because A, all the planets are changing signs, right? But it's the 4 outer planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, changing signs in such a compressed time frame. Okay, we've never seen this before. They're all moving into fire and air. They're all moving into feminine to masculine. They're all aspecting at that 0 degree point. We've talked about this. The world axis, it's a critical degree. A degree of great change and new beginnings, the beginning of the beginning. We have talked about this, so I'm very excited for you. I'm looking at what's going on for you, Cancer. You're about to, you won't even recognize who you are. This is an amazing, absolutely bonkers and amazing, insane month for you. Okay. Remember, we're also leaving the age of Pisces. I mean, I got to do that live stream because we're at that convergence points of like 10 cycles all ending now, as we move into the age of Aquarius. But remember, for you particularly, for everybody, remember that big wave from mid-March. Okay. When all the 6 planet conjunction over that 0 degree point, moving past Pisces into Aries. That brought you here. You're here. That was that big wave that you rode through April, which was a very intense month. And now we're here where it's a completely different month. And you're in a new area of your life, a brand new era. Okay. Now, just to give you a little bit, listen, the third of the 4 outer planets that are changing signs, it's happening now. The third one. Okay. So we've already had Pluto, right? We already had Neptune last month, right? Now Saturn changing its signs, moving into Aries, the first time in 30 years. Yeah. So, wow. What makes this special is the fact that Neptune is here. So Saturn and Neptune together, and they're conjuncting, and I'll talk about that, and I'll tell you what it means for you. But just know, this has not happened in hundreds of years. So the fact that you had everything together, nobody in modern human history has experienced, we have to consider this special. So expect great change and great things and great new beginnings, okay, for you. And please look at my live streams where I give you predictions, where I talk about the geophysics affecting Earth. Earth is changing. The world is changing. You see that. And you are playing a part because it's all about the collective, and the collective is shifting, and the collective is awakening, and the collective is having greater power. And so remember, I asked you last week, how will you contribute? How will you contribute to the collective? Because you're going to start thinking about that. You already have, a lot of you have, but now that Saturn is moving here, oh yeah, you will by the end of the month. So through your art, through the book you're writing, through your work, through your career, through being a mom, being a grandmother, however you contribute is up to you. But you're going to be thinking about that a lot more now. May, first of all, no oppositions. What? Right? Great. And only like 2 squares, 2 or 3. Okay. Piece of cake, piece of pie. I'll walk you through it. And remember, those are outside of the lunations. and the asteroids and the fixer, all of that, right? So we're talking about the planetary aspects. Now, first 2 weeks of May, we're in Taurus season. Very grounding. Please spend time in nature, okay? That's going to help heal, ground you, realign your frequencies, because we are in a fiery time where you are amped up, where you feel charged up, where you are thinking 20 steps ahead. You're feeling ambitious, empowerment, enthusiasm. You're feeling this tenacity running through your veins. That's this fire and air energy, because what's happening here? Mars is in Leo all month, okay? That's a lot of, you got your mind on money. You got your mind on money. Mars and Leo is your second house of income, salary, finances. All right. If you're not here for money, self-worth, self-value, material possessions, there's things you want. Okay. You want that bike, you're going to get it. All right. Because Venus is an Aries fire sign too. All right. You're going to get what you want. You got to take that action. Aries is always action, the initiator, action. And guess what? Aries rules for you. You know this, your 10th house of fame and career and your reputation. So doesn't matter if you're retired, if you're here for career, if you're not working, it doesn't matter. It's your reputation. It's what you're exerting your energy into that you want to be known for. If you want to be known as the best nanny in your gated community, there you go. That's where you're putting your energy. Now, here's the other thing. Remember, the end of April. And a lot of y'all, it's still to come, because I'm dropping this, a week before May starts. The new moon in Taurus kicking off this 2-week period, the first 2 weeks of May, where you feel it strongly, but it's a 6-month cycle. Remember, that's in your 10th house as well. Well, no, that's in Taurus. That's in your 11th house. So 11th house is your hopes, your wishes, your future dreams. So all the seeds that you're planting, there you go. Okay, there you go. It's all for the long haul, and it's building the support system. You're getting support there. Remember, your 11th house is also networking. Are you being social? I told you to be social. All right. I told you it's all about communication. All right. Build those bridges, open those doors. So because the 11th, you have so much energy, that new moon, and then there's so much stuff happening here in your 11th house, which is your social network, which is your friends, your squad, your community, your LinkedIn community, anything. Okay. Where other people are involved. Now, Mercury is going to be in 3 signs in May. I told you things are going to be, Mercury's moving fast AF, okay? And then, of course, Saturn moving into Aries. Think about what happened for you 1996 to 1999. The last time Saturn was in Aries, but hey, I'll say that. You had focus on, everything I mentioned about your 10th house, career, fame, recognition, honors, achievements, social status, leadership, all of that, right? But Neptune wasn't there. All right. So this is history making. This is going to be completely different from that time. All right. And remember, these, by the way, the blue asterisk, the best aspects of the month. Okay. And I know a lot of y'all take notes. Just circle the last week of May, the best week. Oh, just buckle up. All right. But for you, when I look at what's happening for you this entire month, Cancer, I can't. Okay. I can't. And by the end of the month, you will be in a completely different area of your life. A lot of y'all already are. Congratulations. And it's amazing. But you're going to see it. All right. At the end of the month, there's great change, like I said. And you are on the brink of change, and you're going to feel that huge change. And what did I say last week, Cancer? This is why I'm so excited for you. Just wait until June. Just wait. It's like May is a ramp for you. All right. June is not only one of the best months of 2025, it's the best month for you. Jupiter, the planet of luck, good fortune, abundance, profit, expansion, wisdom, all of that moves into your sign the first time in 12 years. Okay. So please get excited for the direction that you're moving. And I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. Because remember, there are going to be some things this month where it's already know that you're going to be leaving behind. All right. And some of it may be sudden, oh, well, okay, oops. Well, no, that's a sign from the universe. I'm moving in this new direction. All right. So I really want you to get excited. The new moon at the end of this month. And again, there's a lot on the back here. I told you in your annual forecast, one of the best of 2025, but also one of my favorites. So please get excited. And I'll leave you some breadcrumbs along the way for June. But the other thing is, I'm still getting a lot of comments from y'all about your sun and rising. Now, I did talk about this in my April 2025 live stream. Just look at that. You'll see it in the title, Sun and Rising, okay? Just to let you know. So it's there. And that's why I say, please look at my live streams, because I tell you a lot of things that are relevant to you that I don't have time for in these, because they're already up to an hour. And I do predictions. Of course, you know all that, all right? So just remember, your sun, your rising. That's what is your horoscope. It's not just your sun sign, it's your rising as well, okay? That is the full picture. I talked about it in that live stream. If you don't know your rising sign, I tell you how to find it. Okay, everything's there. Everything's there. If you got a month where you're like, oh, nothing happened. Well, did you look at your rising? That's where it's. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to watch for your sun and rising. Okay, our brains have been trained. When horoscopes came out in the 1900s, it was only sun sign. So that's how our brains are just trained to just think sun. No, it's sun and rising. And the sun, to be honestly, it's not always about you. It could be like your lover. It could be, you know what I mean? So please, and your moon. If there's any sign that should read or watch their moon sign, if you know your birth chart, it would be you. The moon rules you. The moon is your ruler. And so that's why I do the second spread, the lunations that I include in the second spread, where we pull more cards, where I talk about the lunations, and I tell you some of the moon aspects in any week are often stronger than the planetary aspects. All right. So and it just adds another layer. Okay. So this, of course, is you're a Cancer. Everything I tell you is going to have an impact on you, especially lunations. But when you read for your personal, birth chart, where your moon is, when you read that sign, that's specific to you too. So if you are feeling emotional, Cancer, if you feel emotionally charged or emotionally heightened, or even emotionally extreme, or burnout, or drained, or defensive, or your maternal side is coming out, or things are going on at home and family and your loved ones, or your intuition is off the charts, who is calling on the phone right before you pick it up. It's Tom from marketing. That is all the moon. That is all the moon. All right. So just keep that in mind. It's I get so many questions in the comments. So I just want to make sure that I address it in every sign this time. All right. Now, and especially because in May, in May, you're going to have a lot of really strong lunations, and especially on day 1 of May. All right. You're going to love May, Cancer. It's a special month. And I want you to remember that life is a miracle. All right. Literally, we have the perfect conditions on this planet that make all of this work, that make us alive. Okay? So please remember that. Take advantage of all that the universe offers, especially this month. Okay? Make the most of it, because life is full of opportunities. You have to take them. All right? Okay. So Cancer, let's start. Friday, May 2nd. Yeah. Here you go. Venus conjunct Neptune. That's all you. That's all you. I want you to take this and run with it. You're going to feel this, because it's happening at 1 degree. 1 degree. Okay. Remember, that's initiating. 1 degree just happens to be the Aries degree, right? And Venus conjunct Neptune in Aries, in your 10th house of fame and career and your reputation, all of that, big. We are going to talk about this a lot more in your weekly forecast next week, because this is a rare aspect. Nobody on Earth has experienced this. It's been 164 years. Yeah. So please take advantage of this. What does this mean for you, by the way? So this is just moving the needle forward on your personal goals. This is strong. Okay. This is you taking action for what brings you pleasure, what you desire. It's Venus, but also it's Neptune. So compassion, spirituality, ideals, the arts, imagination, creativity, intuition. This is a symphony. This is, Venus and Neptune, right? Little sister, big sister. This is beautiful. And they both represent music. So please, please, please Remember that sound is healing. Sound is therapy. Sound is vibrations. Helps you vibrate at that high frequency. So I want you to feel this. I want you to put on music that really moves you. I've talked about hemisync, okay, in my live streams. That's big, right? So kick up those gamma waves. All right. So, and both planets also represent creativity. What are the chances that Mars and Leo currently also represents creativity? So do you see how your creativity is going to be off the charts? And so if you're a dancer, if you're a singer, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, and if you're a mom, if you're a grandma, if you're an ice cream server, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Everyone's going to feel this. Use it, because this is world building. All right. Especially, with Neptune being fantasy, right? Like I've talked about this, writing a fantasy novel, do you know what I mean? Like things like that. Use those creative energies, but literally Neptune represents dreams. So the world that you envision for yourself, the world that you want to live in, this is it, okay? This is it. And it bears repeating, Neptune is visual. I've told you this many times, and it again, bears repeating. Visual, visualize, vision boards, your vision, okay? Visualizing your goals, putting yourself at your finish line, your goals, wherever you want to be, put yourself there, visualize it, put yourself on that timeline in confidence, because that's Aries energy. Remember that. Venus is money. You want money? Visualize it. Okay. I talked about the whole Jim Carrey story, right? $1 million checks. You want love? Venus is love. Visualize it. Put yourself in that relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like this is, and I've said this before, this is not just spirituality and hermetic principles. Visualization is literal science. It's neuroscience. You create new neural pathways in your brain. This is proven. Use this, okay? Please, with this aspect, in Aries at 1 degree, come on. This is amazing. So right off the bat of the month, you have this portal of inspiration and passion and self-love and creativity and all of that. So please use this. Mark it in your calendar, please. And plant seeds. Plant seeds, please. Okay. Now, oh gosh, remember I said you're going to right off the bat feel this? Okay, this is why I talk about the lunations and the second spread, and how when I say it really has impact. The moon, actually on the 1st, May 1st and May 2nd, the moon is going to be in your sign, Cancer. Your sign. So why is this a little bit more significant and really amplifies this Venus-Neptune energy? Is because the moon in your sign will trine Venus, will trine Saturn, will sextile Uranus, will trine Neptune, will trine the North Node, will sextile the South Node. You see now, okay? You see. So for you particularly, this is big. And usually I save that for the second spread, but just letting you know, Cancer, because you got a lot happen for you. You have a lot, and you just have now the 3 most feminine planets, the moon, Venus, and Neptune, all working in perfect harmony, making beautiful things happening for you. All right? Please use this. Take action, visualize, be creative, okay? Please use this. If you watch for your rising or your moon, okay? Or if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your husband or your pet parrot, doesn't matter. Cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will feel this the most, as well as Taurus and Pisces. Okay. And if you know your birth chart, and this is something that I do, no one else does this. Okay. If you know your natal chart, planets between 29 to 2 degrees in fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius will feel this. Now, let's move forward. Sunday, I just love how this month kicks off for you, because remember, it's coming right after that new moon in your 11th house of your hopes and wishes and dreams, and networking and benefactors and allies and things like that. Social media too. You're going to see a lot of you are going to be going viral. So now Sunday, May 4th. Okay, Pluto goes retrograde. Sure, that's up until October. Great. Okay. When we hear retrograde, we're like, no, this is a good one. All right. Remember, Pluto is intense. So this is good. All right. What this is for you until October, really great for that deep inner growth. Okay. That transformation that comes from within. Remember, Pluto is regeneration. All right. So this is like your personal empowerment. Okay. Now, why is this such a big deal for you, particularly Cancer? Well, Pluto is in Aquarius for 19 years. And you know that Pluto in Aquarius rules your 8th house of death and rebirth, of transformation, of regeneration, of the changes that this is butterfly to, caterpillar to butterfly for you in a big way. And so go within and have that inner transformation. Okay. And you're probably going to be reflecting a lot on like, wealth building, as well as maybe even taxes. There's something here with taxes and inheritance, and it's just your personal revolution. Partners, yeah, all right. So how you feel about partnerships can be business, can be love. Go within. Think about what happened November 2024, all right, when Pluto moved into Aquarius, all right. So what were the changes that were happening in your life? Now, go within. Okay, have that review and regeneration. I'm going to skip a couple things here again. If we have time, remember when I break it down week by week, by the end, I'm going to talk about some of these. I'm going to skip Mercury, sextile Jupiter. We'll talk about later. Okay, and remember a lot of these, a lot of the aspects for the month, because May is so loaded, aren't even on the whiteboard. Yeah. Now the other and there's a back. Now Tuesday, May 6th. We'll skip this too. Well, Venus exiling Pluto, we've already had it a couple times. All right. So remember, Pluto is in Aquarius in your 8th house, and then you've got Venus in Aries. So there's something really big here with the way that you want to be seen. Okay. Especially in a partnership, the way you feel in a partnership. There's something here about money, inheritance, investments for you. Okay. Venus and Pluto both are, wealth. Okay. So money and commitments, big thing here for you, but we obviously will talk about it later in your weekly forecast. We'll go deeper because there's something big for you here. Now, May 10th, here we go. Mercury moves into Taurus. So now you got the Sun and Mercury and Taurus. So this is good. This is great. All right. Because you are racing toward your destiny, especially with the Saturn, North Node conjunction, Venus, North Node conjunction, Venus, Saturn conjunction last week, right? That was big. And so everything in fire and air as well, fast. But now you get to take this break. Mercury is the mind. So this break up here Mercury and Taurus is very practical. It's very sensible. It's very grounded, right? Very different from Mercury and Aries. And remember, Taurus rules your 11th house of your future hopes and wishes and dreams. So what are you doing for the next 2 weeks from this point forward? You're taking a step back. You're looking at the big picture. You're looking at your path, okay? And you're asking, and you're being more practical and not so, it's like, what are the next steps? Does this make sense? Do you know what I mean? Like really thinking about your future, and especially in terms of even like friendships. A lot of y'all are taking a step back to look at friendships or communities and groups that you belong to. Maybe you're taking a step back to restructure social media strategy. People that you've met on social media, maybe there's something there as well. All right, now. Remember I just said Sun and Mercury and Taurus. Don't forget, we also have Uranus in Taurus. And that's there for 2 more months. So just within these 2 weeks, ask yourself, what are my breakthrough goals? Okay? What do I have to shake up? What do I have to shake loose? All right? Especially for my personal freedom and evolution. Now, on the 12th, you see we have a full moon in Scorpio. Okay? This is a big one. Really, really big. And here's the thing. Obviously, we'll talk about this in great detail in your weekly forecast. Just remember, full moons illuminate, they culminate. Turning points, reflections, endings. Yeah? Moons in Scorpio, if you don't know, they can already be intense when the moon is in Scorpio, but there is something happening here. Uranus will be conjuncting the Sun. Therefore, we will have a Uranus Cazimi that will be perfecting on the 17th. So you will feel it on this full moon. All right. And that, again, is pretty big because it'll be opposite this full moon. And so, Uranus is the great awakener, planet of surprises, the unexpected, but breakthroughs. Yeah. Breakthroughs, freedom as well. So, what does this mean for you? First of all, the full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio does rule your 5th house of joy, pleasure, yeah? True love, romance, family, children, sex, intimacy, but also creativity, creative projects, self-expression. So there's something you're wrapping up here. There's something that you're going to see coming to a turning point, an ending. All right. And perhaps there may be something unexpected because Uranus is opposite this, So something maybe with home, family, loved ones. There could even be like a female figure involved here. But again, it does look strong. It may be a friend that is somewhere in the picture here, or a group you belong to, or a support system, your social network. There's something here. All right. So just keep that in mind. Either way, this is all about your breakthroughs. It's a full moon in Scorpio. There is something inside you that needs to come out, that needs to be revealed, that needs for you to have your breakthrough. And so remember what I say with any aspects, you want to use it. Okay. This is all about your personal transformation. And yes, there's likely something here with money. All right. Remember, Mercury's in Taurus, Sun's in Taurus, finance sign. And then you have, the Pluto retrograde in your 8th house. Mars is in Leo all month in your 2nd house of money and salary and finances. There may be something here with money. All right. Again, very likely a lot of y'all are just getting new jobs or launching your businesses, or you're getting a proposal. Is a proposal? Promotion? Or maybe even a proposal. You never know. So just keep that in mind, that we are also coming out of that new moon in Taurus at the beginning of the month. So a lot of Taurus energy, your 11th house of your future hopes and wishes and dreams. This is all about you. All right. So be flexible around this time and be willing to let things go. There is a lot of like resistance energy that is possible around this time. So just be open-minded to letting things go. And as long as you trust your intuition, which is the moon, yeah, then you're going to be fine. And you'll see that it's making room for new things. Okay. Remember, we're shedding skin. Okay. Think of the death card, right? And in tarot, it's attributed to Scorpio, right? Transformation. All right. So obviously we'll talk about this later, but the only reason I'm harping on it a lot now is because it will be triggering the North Node and the South Node too. This full moon. Yeah. So, I actually want you to think about what happened around November, like I said, but November 1st till all of November. This full moon corresponds to the new moon that we had November 1st. What happened around that time? All right. So anyway, just 6 months ago, what else is going on? Yeah, Mercury will square Pluto this day too as well. So, normally I would just skip this and save it for later, but this one is the first square that we're going to have, and it is pretty intense. So again, for you, especially because Pluto happens to be in its domain, and for you, Cancer, no one else, you. And when I say that, Pluto rules the 8th house. So Pluto being an Aquarius in your 8th house is pretty big. And so this is deep. It's deep thinking. We're talking about Mercury, mind, right? Communication as well. Be mindful of the things that you say. Pluto brings that intensity. Can be a little bit extreme, but for this, it's going to be a lot of you possibly internalizing, because it is happening on the full moon, and Pluto does go deep and is very psychological. So remember, I've talked about polarities, right? Pluto can take Mercury's energies to extremes. So if you find that you are like doubting yourself or questioning everything but going in circles, that's when you're like, okay, let me just trust my intuition. Let me go in nature. Let me heal. Things will come out that need to. Okay. So it's a good time to not put stress on yourself and to stay frosty, be cool. You may feel a little bit of squeeze, but you're going to be fine as long as you use this. Yeah. Mercury square Pluto. You got to use it. Work with the energy. Why do you want to do that? And why am I giving you the heads up now? Because in 2 weeks from now, Mercury will trine Pluto. So you get over this little speed bump and you got some great things coming. Amazing thing, especially with wealth building. Remember what I said. So you got a lot to look forward to. So take this time, go within, tap into that Mulder Scully energy that I always talk about, because this aspect is the deep thinker. It's the powerful storyteller, the reporter, the psychologist, the intellectual. It's powerful. Yeah. So use it. Okay. I have Mercury square Pluto in my birth chart. So I've worked with this my entire life. All right. So I'm living proof that you can use this and make it work for you. Now, if you watch for your rising, your moon, or, for your sister, your grandma, whoever, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, which is me, I'm an Aquarius, will feel this the most. And if you know your birth chart, and I'm going to give this a wide orb of degree because of Uranus. If you know your birth charts, if you have planets between 20 to 27 degrees, and Scorpio, Taurus, and I'm mixing things up here and throwing Virgo and Pisces in as well, okay? Because the North Node and South Node is activated. Like, y'all are going to feel it the most. Okay, so now, where are we? Oh, and for you, yeah, there may be some things coming to the surface, secrets being revealed around this time, and I'm just to let you know. Okay, we'll talk about it in your weekly forecast. Now, okay, here we go. Big. Wow, look at all this. All right, so the main thing here is the 17th to the 18th, depending on where you live, the sun will conjunct Uranus. Remember, a lot of these aspects, when they perfect, sometimes they happen like right at midnight, so it just really depends on where you live. Here's our Uranus Kazemi. It happens once a year. All right, so this is going to be big. The chances of sudden unexpected change are very, very high. It is a conjunction. It's powerful. You'll feel it a week before. You'll feel it a week after. But this is the hot spot, okay? This is the hot spot on the 17th, 18th, all right? Now, this is in your 11th house. Your hopes, your wishes, your future dreams, your long-term goals. Also, your social network, friendships, groups you belong to. There can be a shakeup here. Here's the thing. When I say use these aspects, you can use this, okay? Shake things up. Uranus wants you to shake things up. Uranus is the great awakener, right? Awakening to things that you see. And you're like, okay, I gotta have that breakthrough. Uranus is breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs. Yeah. So Uranus wants you to shake things up in your routine. But for you, also, maybe there's something that if you have your long-term goals, wishes, dreams, hopes, things like that, there could be something here where you need to just shake things up to see things that you were missing, to bring the other pieces in, okay? And it is very likely there may be a shakeup with friendships, groups. It's so close to that full moon. Some of y'all may have some shakeups, unexpected surprises, maybe coming from friends or maybe with friendships or groups. And again, it can be like a Facebook group. It just, you just never know with Uranus, the planet of surprises. But just remember, change is the only constant in this world. So again, be flexible, be open-minded, and you're going to be fine. Okay. We'll obviously talk about this a lot later, but this is definitely going to be a powerful aspect because of everything else that's happening around this time. But also, is it on the whiteboard? No. Mercury will square Mars. So we'll talk about your weekly forecast. The main thing I want you to realize here is that remember what I said last week, Uranus is sextiling the North Node and trining the South Node. And that's until June. And even sextiling Saturn. Okay? So whatever happens here is part of your journey, part of your destiny. Remember, you create your reality. I say that all the time. Use this aspect, shake things up that you're just like, okay, this is holding me back or this doesn't serve me well. Taurus and Aquarius will feel this the most. If you have any planets between 24 to 29 degrees in fixed signs, yeah, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Pisces and Virgo, you're really going to feel this. And if you have any planets between 0 and 5 degrees of Aquarius or Aries, you're going to feel this. All right, because of what's happening soon too. Okay, so we'll talk about Mercury square Mars. But again, there may be just some not seeing eye to eye here, and just be mindful about the way you speak and the way that you're thinking, because it can be a little impulsive. Okay. But we'll talk about your weekly forecast. If we have time, we'll do it later too. All right. So, and yeah, there's going to be something with your self-worth, self-value, even material possessions, and likely money, finances. All right. Now, and not on the whiteboard, on the 18th, Jupiter will square the North and South Node. We'll talk about that in your weekly forecast. Now we get to the 20th. The sun moves into Gemini. Amazing. Amazing. So the next 4 weeks, your life is going to be very, I've got to know. All right. That's Gemini season. All right. You're probably going to be having a lot of moments like, I am killing it on social media. I've had so many great job interviews. I've had the most stimulating conversation that's opening doors for me. I took that short trip that changed my perspective, or I had a huge light bulb moment, or it changed my life. That is Gemini season. That's the vibe for you for the next 4 weeks. Gemini season is very stimulating, especially mentally. It's also movement, so energy, physically. Gemini is the reporter, the writer, the researcher, writes out, the communicator, marketing, advertising, small businesses, local community, all of that, short distance travel, family, all of that highlighted in the name of stimulation, okay? And so this is all about power of the mind, mind over matter, expanding your consciousness. Remember, Neptune is already in Aries. So the big thing here is Gemini does rule your 12th house. And so it's very interesting for you. Yeah, it's extremely interesting because this is more about rest and retreat for you. The 12th house is everything beyond the physical plane. It's hidden matters. It's very nebulous, but it's spirituality. It's healing. So you're about to go through some major healing, especially with Pluto retrograde as well in your 8th house, coming out in June when Jupiter moves into your sign, when we move into your birthday season, and when we have one of the best new moons of the year, possibly the best one, because the new moon in June in your sign will conjunct Jupiter. What? Have you seen that before? No. So just, again, you've got a lot waiting for you in June. But nonetheless, remember, sure, we're in Gemini season, but Jupiter's here too. So remember, Jupiter expands. And this is all about communication for you. Okay? And so plant seeds. Plant seeds by conversations, with texts, with emails, learning new things, starting a business, being social and active, and again, being just, putting yourself out there. Again, with the 12th house, the great thing is that there's this expansion of spirituality through the things that you're doing through your physical world. And with the 12th house, because it's what it is, especially during Gemini season for you, Cancer, is there's things happening behind the scenes for you is what it is. All right. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Just the fact that Jupiter's moving to your sign, and you know Jupiter's exalted in your sign. Like I can't even. You're gonna have one of the best birthday seasons that in your lifetime, actually. All right, in your lifetime with what's happening next month. And we'll talk about next month. So that's a little bit of breadcrumbs I'm leaving you. Now, the other thing is, and then you got the Sun sextiling Saturn that same day. Come on. Saturn bringing that longevity. Here's the thing, all right? Oh, well, I'll tell you now. Saturn, remember, Saturn is limitations, authority, restrictions, all of that. The taskmaster. Saturn's really hard. He can come in hard. This month, he's making things really easy for you in terms of building that structure, that foundation, that bridge to your finish line. So I really love this. We'll talk about your weekly forecast. And then we have Venus trine Mars. We'll talk about this in your weekly forecast, okay? Because remember, we've already had this a couple times. This is happening on the 22nd. And for you, Cancer, just a little quickie here. Yeah, this is romance and intimacy and sex and creativity is a big thing here. Remember that. But for you, this hits your 2nd house of income and your 10th house of career. So when you do the math, all right? And there's a trend. You're going to feel it days before, days after. Not on the whiteboard. We have the Sun sextile Neptune. Oh, gosh, that's just, right? Chef's kiss. We'll talk about it next week. But I really need to get to the 24th and the 25th, okay? This is big, depending on where you live. 24th, 25th, write this in your calendar. Here we are. Saturn moves into Aries around 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first time Saturn's been in Aries in 30 years. But what's happening? He's going to leave Aries, okay, in September. What does that mean? Saturn is going to be with Neptune from this point until September. Then he's going to be in Aries again, February 2026 for 2 years. So from now and the summer, your birthday season, you get a glimpse of what your life is going to be like starting February 2026. Why is that a big deal? Because you take the actions, you plant the seeds, and you create your reality. So where do you want to be by February 2026? You got this window. This is amazing. All right. I'm going to do a separate video, a separate live stream on Saturn and Neptune together in Aries because it's such a big deal. I already did a video on Neptune and Aries if you want to check that out because that is important. Again, you've never experienced that. It's been 164 years. If you haven't seen that, that's another live stream. You'll see it in my, playlist. Why is this such a big deal? Saturn moving into Aries, 30 years, every 30 years. Obviously, you've heard of the Saturn return. If you're 29 right now, if you're 29 to 30, 31, you're going through your Saturn return. Okay? If you're 58 till 60, you're going through your Saturn return. But why is this such a big deal? Because Saturn conjuncting Neptune in Aries has only happened 7 times in modern human history. That's right. So in the thousands of years we've had on this planet, it's only happened 7 times. The last time was 1703. Okay. And then you can trace it back to the first time, 593 BC. We're talking about modern human history. So I'm pretty sure it happened thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, but this is big. All right. So the best way to explain it is that Saturn and Neptune, sure, they're conjuncting, but it's more like, think of they're at a house party. I said this in your angel forecast. Think of them as a house party. They're both on the dance floor. They're vibing, but they haven't met yet. They will meet February 2026. And how powerful will that be? Well, they're going to meet at 0 degrees, the beginning of the beginning. Yeah, the creation degree. As I said, the Great Reset, February 2026. Never has that ever happened. Never has that ever happened. Okay, again, you can't trace that throughout human history. So big. Big. And that's why I was harping on what happened in March. At the end of March, the first time in modern human history, the 6-planet conjunction over that 0 degree point. Big. Now, this is definitely going to be really big. And why is this going to be big for you? Because it's happening in your 10th house of career. You're becoming huge leaders. You're becoming famous. Set yourself up. Please, Cancer. I really want you to use this. Huge. Now, since the first microbe formed on this earth, yeah, I've told you, Saturn is authority, discipline, boundary, limitations, restrictions, right? Life lessons. Therefore, Saturn is karma. So he makes things a little hard for you. But if you work with his rules, you get rewarded. He's karma. You pass your test, you move on to your next cycle, and then he brings you structure, stability, your long-term growth and goals and commitments. There are no shortcuts with Saturn. So what's happening now is playing out for the long haul for you. All right. Long term. I just want you to think long term. What makes this also very unique? It's not just Saturn moving into Aries. As I explained, it's Saturn with Neptune in Aries, but sextiling Uranus and Pluto, which you're going to feel greatly starting in your birthday season. And Saturn, and those are windows of opportunity. And again, Saturn normally does not give this out easy. So you see how you're about to become famous for what you do. You're about to be recognized for what you do. You're going to be winning Nobel Prizes. The 10th house is achievements globally as well. 10th house is career. It's everything that is very public facing as well. big. All right. And it's confidence boosting. It's Aries. And Aries is the I am. Remember that. Self-sufficiency, self-starters, leadership, entrepreneurship, pioneering spirit, consciousness. Yeah. So please use this because Saturn in Aries is mastery of self. Working hard for that, right? For the longevity of it all. Okay. Life lessons. Saturn shapes you into who you're about to be. And it's more Mr. Miyagi than anything. Okay. Wax on, wax off. That's what Saturn is, okay? That's what he is. It's patient. Saturn is patience. It's requiring you to be patient. You can't go to the karate tournament like because I'm mad. You know, you gotta wax on, wax off. You gotta wax on. You gotta practice. All right. So harness that energy. Okay. You can't plant a seed and expect a tree the next day. Okay. That's what Saturn is saying. That's what I'm saying. But that's Saturn energy. So remember, and the only reason why I'm saying this, and I'm harping on this, is because Aries is fiery. Aries does have that rebellious vibe. Aries is very like, yes, now. No, Saturn's like, no. We got to practice this. Wax on, wax off. Please keep that in mind, Cancer, because there is going to be a point that a lot of people are just going to get impatient. I want this now, and I can't. And Saturn's like, wax on, wax off. And so you have to practice patience, and that's for everybody. I'm not like, that's Saturn. So, and with Neptune, okay. Well, again, we'll talk more about that next week. But anyway, life lessons in career, in fame, all of that. It's slow and steady wins a race. All right, it's not hit the ground running. It's hit the ground speed walking. So we'll talk about this more in your weekly forecast. Let's keep going. You've got, here's the thing. Just remember with Saturn, who represents reality, okay? Remember he brings in this reality checks. You create it, right? He just builds the bridge. So you create your reality. Why do you think people say life is what you make it? Why do you think they've said it for thousands of years? You create your reality, okay? So please take that action, as above, so below. Now, the biggest thing here is now you're going to feel, the sun trining Pluto. We'll talk about that. That's amazing for you. Mercury conjunct Uranus. That's happening, as you can see. That's insane. Like, there's something, you're going to get good news around this time. All right. Mercury conjunct, that only happens once a year too. You get these surprising, amazing, wonderful news or breakthrough ideas, or your breakthrough, or there's something here about your future for sure. But it's Mercury. Okay. So this is all happening in your 11th house of your future hopes and wishes and dreams. Now, you've also got Mercury moving into Gemini, where it's, Mercury is a ruler for Gemini, so it's at home in Gemini, so perfect. We'll talk about that. Again, you're going to be communicating a lot. Mercury and Gemini will sextile Saturn. Remember, I said Saturn is building that bridge for you, and you see it here, okay? So there's some agreement, contract, negotiation happening around this time where Saturn brings that longevity. This is happening at 0 degrees. All right. So fresh new beginning for you. That's happening right when we have on the 26th or the 27th, depending on where you live, the new moon in Gemini, one of the best ones of the year. All right. Because it is going to be conjuncting Mercury, trining Pluto, sextiling Neptune and Saturn. Mercury sextiling Saturn. Are you joking? Like, this is insane. Very enthusiastic, wonderful, exciting, collaborative energy. New moon. Saturn bringing that stability, Neptune bringing that compassion and ideals, imagination, Pluto, empowerment, money. You've got it all here. Remember, Jupiter expands everything it touches. Jupiter is in Gemini too. Okay, don't forget that before moving into your sign soon. Let's see what's going on for you, Cancer, let's do it. May 2025. Cancer, I do a traditional Culture Cross spread, offers the best overview. Whoa, if we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, Cancer, I love y'all. How are y'all doing? What are y'all up to? Tell me. Cancer, what was I going to say? Yeah, and then we'll break it down, but we're going to do it fast because, and then, of course, the second spread, we'll talk. So let's see what's okay. Look at you. Oh, I pulled an extra card. I love that. I love it when I accidentally do that because when I say accidental, it's actually meant to be. So we're going to use that as a clarifier. You're good. You got the Three of Cups. There you go. You already started something new. It's clear. Or you're in the process of. Remember, I'm dropping these forecasts like maybe a week before May 1st. There's something here that you're going to, it is a card of celebration, and it is a Cancer card, okay? It's actually attributed to Mercury and Cancer, but either way, there's good news that is coming or that you've heard. There's something that you may have started. There's something that you may have created. There's something here. And 3 is a vibration of the Empress, right? So creation, create. But celebration, the end of a harvest, the beginning of a new harvest, you feel it in your bones. There's something new on the horizon. But again, there's something that you may be celebrating here. There may be family involved. You do see the 3 sisters. It didn't even have to be, it can be your squad. Yeah. Remember, you have a lot of network, friendships, family. You have a lot of that activated. But either way, you're good. You're moving into this feeling really good. Remember, we kick off the month with the moon in your sign with like 5 trillion amazing aspects. King of Swords and the Hard Year spread. Look at you. Talk about that leadership energy. Talk about that power. Remember Mercury in 3 signs, and Mercury, you saw that a lot of the aspects were Mercury. Communication, thinking, logic, ideas. Right there. Power, authority. This is you signing contracts. This is you giving this is you setting the rules and the laws. This is you being an authority. Okay, head above the clouds. This is someone who's even, and hey, just remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Okay, just remember that because we're gonna have a lot. Cancer, you're gonna have a lot of power, and remember, we do have some squares that are just like squeezy. Anyway, you're good. You're absolutely good. This is more about your empowerment. This is power, right? The King of Swords, and more in that mental capacity, communication, thoughts, ideas, like I said. However, the King of Swords is Aquarius. Yeah, remember you have Pluto there, and so it's all about, when I say power, your personal power, your personal empowerment. You're really going within. Okay, so even of the mind, but there's action here. You're taking action on something for sure, and maybe even being a huge, like public, you know what I mean? Like public figure, or even like family figure, like everyone in your family and or even your local community. Like you're the one that people are seeing and being heard. Like it's you. You got the Lovers in your challenge area. So there may be the end of something, like I said earlier. Okay. Just pay attention to the full moon in Scorpio. Like I said, there is likely going to be the end of, it's in your 5th house. So that's true love. That's romance, family, children, creativity. It's self-expression. It's even like if you're in a friends with benefit situation, it would be that too. As part of your 5th house. So just keep that in mind. And you've got the Lovers in your challenge area, which usually indicates like, okay, there's something here with partnerships where maybe it's not working out. I have all that clarity now. Okay. That full moon illuminated something. Now, remember, it doesn't mean some things are going to just end, right? Some things can be surprising with Uranus so close to it. It's a turning point. But definitely something may be revealed. Yeah? Okay? You even see a blast of sun here. And it's very auspicious. It's very optimistic. You have an archangel here. You have the 2 people, the Lovers, right? But it is in your challenge area. So that's all I'm saying. All right? So just keep that in mind. It's all about compromise and doing what's best for you with Pluto retrograde. The other thing is that it may be something where it's something that is, it's like something, it feels like something moving from your subconscious to your conscious. Okay, does that make sense? Like there's something that is, the subconscious, what is that? It's where we store our memories. So it's also like where you could be something holding you back, where you recognize like, okay, like this is why I've been telling myself like, I'm not good enough for this, or what, like that's that subconscious where you recognize that now and you're like, no more. I'm not thinking that way no more, because now I know what's holding me back, like that kind of energy. All right. And remember, it can be business partners. It doesn't have to be love, really. It could be creative project, like creative director, things like that. Okay? 1 and 1. 2 of Pentacles in your crown. Yeah? Looking at what's going on for you, it does look like
Okay, I'm going to show you something here. You have the Two of Pentacles and you have another Archangel. You have Archangel Michael and the root of your spirit. So when you have the Two of Pentacles in your crown, you see finances, money, the juggling act here. Yeah, something does have to go. Don't you think? You're thinking about it. You're going to take action, right? For that balance in your life where it's not like, but a lot of it is because something new has come through, whether it's a new idea or a new plan or a new goal or something in your physical world that is new, to balance things out. There is likely something with partnerships, relationships here too. Two of Pentacles is a Capricorn card. Capricorn is your opposite sign. Therefore, partnerships, relationships, legal matters, one-on-one commitments. So it can even be like your, lawyer or publicist or babysitter, sister, whoever, right? Just keep that in mind. But there's something here with the work for sure for a lot of y'all. Aquarius, by the way, your 8th house. Pluto is being very active. 8th house, I think I mentioned it, is partnerships, like deep, whether love, whether career, business partners, things like that. Now you have Temperance and the root of your spread. Great. Amazing. That's balance, right? That's total balance, knowing, moderation, avoiding extremes, enjoying the moment, being present. That's self-awareness. That's imbalance. All right. And so a lot of this is just bringing it all together. Okay. This is amazing. Temperance and the root of your spread. And so there's something, it just seems like you're taking some powerful action toward that. That something's a little off kilter. I need balance in my life. Okay. The moon in your future. You got the moon. Did you see your last week's reading? You got the moon. Look at your last week's reading. Look at where it was. And now it's in your future. And so there is this process where you may be spending a lot of time with your subconscious because what did I tell you? You have Jupiter there. Jupiter that expands in Gemini in your 12th house. That is the subconscious. Now, let me tell you something here because it's now coming up. The 12th house, yes, it's spirituality. It's healing. You're doing that. You've got Chiron in Aries in your 10th house it's like there's some deep wound inside you. That's like, oh, no, I can't have the spotlight. Oh, no, I don't deserve this. You have to do that healing. You're worth everything, Cancer, everything. You have to believe it, okay? Now, the moon, again, when you get it again, but again, it's coming up for me. And then you see with Jupiter and Gemini in your 12th house, and remember, you only got it here for a few more weeks. And then you got Jupiter moving into your sign. So again, you're moving into this amazing, but you've got to use this to unroot things because the 12th house, the lower expressions is self-sabotage. It's hidden enemies. Remember, there's going to be some things being revealed to you in a big way. And like I said, from subconscious, there's something coming from your subconscious to your conscious, and it can be someone like a friend or a group or, okay? So I want you to be mindful of that, but you have to take action for it. This is taking like responsibility, right? And he is very public facing too. So the moon, the subconscious, but also hidden enemies, self-sabotage. It's also like facing any fears that you have to, it's even like isolation. So like removing yourself from people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. If you need to, take some time out, a little bit here and there to go within. Okay. But what I'm picking up is like, don't like do days of, you know what I mean? All right. So, but this is actually good if you go within. Okay. That's all it's saying. It is a full moon. You see how full this moon is? So please pay attention to that Scorpio full moon. Pay attention to, this is part of your destiny. This card is attributed to Pisces in tarot, right? The moon in tarot is Pisces. Remember, your North Node is there, and that is 9th house for you, spirituality. So really go within. All right. You see those two towers here? You got to break them down. They're up here in your subconscious. The moon is the subconscious. You got to break them down. There's something here let's do that. And then you've got Uranus helping you. You've got Uranus helping you this month. And then you're going to be good. Let's get to your stuff. Cancer, listen, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. You know I love y'all. Let's get to your stuff. All right. So, yeah, you're good. Don't even, like, here's the thing. You're going through a process where I maybe said 4 or 5 times, June is the best month that you're going to have. Like, it's like hands down. You've got Jupiter moving in your sign, Jupiter leaving your 12th house. You've got a lot of other things happening for you too. And we'll talk about that when we get to June. We have 2 of the luckiest days of 2025 just happen to be in June. Like we'll talk about when we get to June. So you can see you have a lot to look forward to anyway. It's just really, here's the thing. Just have a lot more, be able to communicate, feel that confidence, and it's all about mind over matter. You got the 8 of Cups? Yeah, do it. Move forward from the things that you need to. It's going to feel a little bit bittersweet, but at least you're doing it. That's what you want. You see him moving to higher ground during, you see that moon, that full too. It is pretty full. It's full to me. What I say, the moon is your ruler. Trust your intuition. That's what works. You got the world. What? Yeah. So you see how everything's changing here for you, right? You got the world in your external factors area. Congratulate yourself. Be proud of yourself. You've achieved a lot. You've gone through a lot. You had Jupiter in Gemini in your 12th house for a year. Look at how far you've come, Cancer. Be proud of yourself, all right? You see the dancing figure here? She's dancing for a reason. She's come to the end of the major arcana. You're starting this new journey. You literally see that happening, yeah? So when I say new beginnings, brand new era, you see it, you feel it, you know it's coming, all right? So be proud of yourself. That's all I have to say. Work with Saturn's rules. You're going to be fine. The world is attributed to Saturn, by the way. Now you got the Nine of Swords. Great. Yeah, that's what you want. You want to get you do want to communicate. You do want to go after your goals. You are mentally, you're going to feel it too. I promise you, you're going to feel it. With Mercury going in 3 signs this month, your mind just active. I do want to communicate. I need to build this bridge. I need to network here. I need to speak to my family. I need to speak to my husband. I need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. We need to take care of this. This is just staying up here. I need to move forward. I need to use that sword to strike, right? So do it. Do it. You're in fire and air. Look at what's going under his feet. Do it. This is bold, courageous. And then in your final outcome, you have the Magician. So we're coming to the end. You got this new beginning in your final outcome. The beginning, card 1. Yeah? We talked about 1. All right? So now you've got the power to manifest whatever you want. You're starting the Fool's journey. A new one. Your journey. He's got all tools. He's got all the tools of tarot. Pentacles, wands, swords, cups. Where do you want to put that energy? You can do whatever you want. You create your reality. Hand to the sky, hand to the ground. As above, so below. Infinity symbol, the Ouroboros and his belt. You got this. They're good. Just feel it and take that action. The Magician is a card of action. And you got these swords, and you've got the moon, and you've got Temperance, the pineal gland. So you do have a lot of here. What the point I'm making is the Magician is attributed to the planet Mercury, and like I said, it's going to be in 3 signs, so that can be a little overwhelming for you, but it's all about your career or fame or your reputation, your long-term hopes, wishes, dreams, networking, and a lot of like unrooting things. Okay, what did this card come from? You got the King of Wands. That's amazing. Was that, even if it was like, well, here's the thing. You're going to be fine. That's a clarifier for the entire spread. King of Wands, by the way, huge leader. That's your second king, right? So you got 2 kings. Leadership. No, it's huge leadership. But this is all about your passions. It's Wands. And then remember, you have a lot of career and work stuff, which is insane, right? All this buildup that's happening there and fame. King of Wands is Leo. There's an element of fame with Leo. You got Mars and Leo, but also, and that's like self-worth, self-value. He's confident AF, right? He's got, you see the Ouroboros in his throne. Unity of all things we're talking about here. Change, right? the beginning. There's this cycle. And it's all about your passions as well and your ambitions. Okay? Just don't sit on, like, don't remember, it's how you handle that sword. Even if he did come out reverse, it's the same thing here. Just be mindful about communication. Now, oh my goodness. Okay, let's break it down week by week. First week, Cancer. Well, Venus conjunct Neptune is with the moon in your sign at that time. Biggest thing for you, Pluto moving into Aquarius, Mercury moving into Taurus. Let's see what's going on for you, Cancer, for the first week of June. You listen, you got that 9 of Wands. Yeah, that's just saying don't give up. Don't give up. Hang in there. You're going to be fine. You're going to be really good. It does seem like there's going to be some changes with work. By the way, all right, that is coming on really strong. Now, second week, you got and this card is actually attributed to Moon in Sagittarius. So we'll talk about in your weekly forecast. That is going to have a big impact on you. And that is your 6th house of work anyway. Colleagues, employees, things like that. But also health. Be mindful of health. Now, second week, we got that full moon in Scorpio, really big for you. Yeah. And then the Uranus Cazimi on the 17th and the 18th that you're going to feel right around that time with Mercury squaring Mars right around that time. Let's see what's going on for you for the second week of May. Be very mindful. Be honest with yourself. You got the 7 of Swords. Listen, when Pluto goes retrograde, you're going to feel it. You have to really do that inner transformation. It's not just like withdrawing, as I said, okay? It's withdrawing to heal, to regenerate, to have your inner transformation. It still takes work, okay? You've got to be very mindful of that, all right? With the 7 of Swords. And it's not... it really is facing your realities, not taking any shortcuts. Like I said, Saturn is not going to let you do that. Now, the second thing, yes. With that, yes. Just be mindful. This is the week of the full moon in Scorpio when things are going to be illuminated and revealed to you, okay? There may be someone that maybe this card is associated with disloyalty, dishonesty, deceit, lying, cheating, stealing. And again, maybe at home, maybe at career, maybe a friend. Whatever resonates with you, but you just got 2 moon cards back to back and you got the actual moon card. This is moon in Aquarius. Yeah, so just moon in Sagittarius, like I said. You got that. Anyway, let's keep going. So just be mindful. You got to not hold things in. So diplomatically, if you're gonna, yeah. Third week, we officially move into Gemini season with the sun exiling Saturn, which is amazing. Saturn moving into Aries, joining Neptune. Oh wow, that is a lot going on. We'll stop right there. All right. And then you got the Sun trine Pluto and Mercury conjunct Uranus. All right, so let's see what's going on for you for the third week of June. You got to make a decision. Look at you. Look at you. 2 of Swords, trust your intuition. Everything here is telling you to trust your intuition and have... When I talked about subconscious, conscious, that was coming from, just merge the two. Merge the two. Let things come up from your subconscious, put in your conscious, make that decision. Because now you got the moon in Libra is what this card is attributed to. You got 3 moon cards with the actual moon card. You got to trust moon intuition. She's got her back turned to the moon, but also the sea, which is emotions. Coming after that 7 of Swords, you've got to face your truth. Okay? You got to be comfortable enough to take out that blindfold. Those swords are going to get heavy. And again, there's a little bit of resistance that I felt. There it is. So, don't resist. Uranus is going to shake things up, bring in new things for you. Okay? So keep that in mind. Great things. All right? And remember, you already have that King of Swords in the heart of your spread. Use it. I mean, diplomatically. Now, last week, yeah, you got Mercury moving to Gemini. You got that amazing new moon in Gemini. You got Mercury trine Pluto. Let's see what's going on for you. We have that Mercury Cazimi as well. Let's see what's going on for you for the last week of June. The Hermit. There you go. Go within. So, but you know what is happening here? It feels more like, and yeah, if you want to talk about this, the Hermit is Virgo. Where's the South Node? The South Node of the Moon, right? In Virgo. You got all this moon. You got to watch your moon, okay? Watch your moon sign. Anyway, you're going to be fine. This is doing that reflection. This is going within. This is saying like, yeah, I've made a lot of accomplishments. I want to know what's next. In order to know that, I got to go within. But either way, I am moving forward, all right? Who's only 2 people in all of tarot that got that cane? Who do you think that is? Right? So, when you know, you move forward. But you got a lot to look forward to. You have this brand new beginning, but you have it really is like there's something we need to work on here. And then with all that moon energy, yeah, trust your intuition the most. Please just trust your intuition. And listen, we all have intuition, right? Every single person. What matters is connecting with it. Yeah? All right, Cancer? So if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. And next week, we'll go deeper in the aspects. And yes, I got 2 decks here. So tier 3 members, we're going to talk about love. We're going to look at, I want to see love, career. Okay, okay, so anyone's welcome to join. It's a lot of fun. Cancer, y'all are amazing. I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.